Alright guys, welcome back to today's video. In the previous video, I taught you how to create a database through your web hosting account, which is direct admin or cPanel. But in today's video, I want to show you how to create a table in that database or any database you have created, okay? But before we continue, I would like to let you know that one database can contain as many tables as you can create. You might actually have a table for your contact us page where the input people are filling in the contact us form are stored on your database. And you can also have a table that will contain the login details. So now to create a table in your database, there are two methods on how to create a table. One is the hard way and the other one is the easy way. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to do both of them, both the hard way and the easy way, okay? So now to create a table through your PHPMYADMIN, once you have logged in here, if you don't know how to get to this place, go and watch the previous video I did before on how to create a database through your Mysql management, okay? So after watching that video, you will see how to get to this place we are now, okay? And I will also leave the link to the video in the description below, or you see it somewhere top here, okay? So now, moving ahead. So once you are here to create a table, we are going to first create it through the hard way before we do it through the easy way, okay? So to do it through the hard way, once you are logged on here, click on this second button, which is SQL. So to create table in your database through the hard way is by writing the MySQL code that will generate that table for us, okay? So we are going to start by writing create dash table. So here we are going to give the table a name. So for the sake of this tutorial, so maybe I'm going to give this one like contact page, okay? So depending on the name that suits you. So space, you give it parenthesis and semicolon. So on this parenthesis, I'm going to like bring it down, divide it like this. So now in the middle of this command, so I will say ID space. Then I write integer, which is int. So this integer means that this ID is number, which means it is something like 1, 2, or 3, whatever, it is number, okay? That is what this int means, okay? So it means that the ID is going to be a number, okay? So I'm going to say parenthesis here. So in this parenthesis is expecting us to write a number there. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it 11. So this 11 means, so no matter the increment of the ID, it can never be above 11. You don't need to do anything. The system will do it for you, okay? So after that, so now we are going to say space, and we're going to write not null. So what this means is that no matter what, any input here, any data here will never be stored without an ID. So anything that comes in here must have a specific ID that can never be duplicated. It can never be two. It must surely be one. So each data will have one ID different from others, okay? So now we are going to say space again. So we are going to say here on capital letter, primary key, then space, still on capital letter, we are going to say author underscore increment. So what this means is that if any data comes into this table, that the ID will be automatically increased, which means if we already have 1 or 2 input data, which will be maybe number 1 is ID1, number 2 ID2, and number 3 ID3. So when another data comes in, it will auto increment and give the fourth one the ID number 4. It will do it by itself, okay? And any data you have in here can never have double ID. So now at the end, they say comma, then come down under it. So now we are going to, so like I said before, that I'm creating this table for a contact page, so that when somebody fills in the form on the contact us page on our website, then the input the person enters there will be inserted into this table on our database, okay? So now under here, I'm going to say like, so let's say maybe that the contact form contains first name. So I'm going to say name here. So on this name, like we see here on ID, we say this one is int, is going to be number, but this name is going to be character. So for that, we are going to make use of a command called varchar. So after you must have written varchar, then give it a parenthesis. Then inside the parenthesis, I will say something like 128, which means that the name can never be longer than 128. So I don't think anybody's name is going to be longer than 128 characters, okay? So after that, give it a space and say not null. Then comma, then come down under it again. So on this one, I'm going to say subject space. So it's also going to be a character. So I will say varchar. Varchar represents character. So I'm going to say here parenthesis. So inside the parenthesis, I will also give it 128 because subject cannot also be longer than 128 characters. So I will give it a space. Then I will also say not null. Then comma. Then come down under this. So this one I will say this one is going to be content. So I will also say it's going to be character varchar. Then I give it parentheses. So inside the content parentheses, I will say something like 2000. So the words can never be more than 2000. So after that, give it a space and say also not null. So be careful on this last one. Don't put comma on it. If you look at the other three, they have comma, but the last one don't have to contain any comma, okay? So now we are done creating the table. So if you are done also, just come with me and click on go here. Then you will see it here. It says that your table has been created. If you look under here, you can see the table here. So, but it doesn't have any data input yet. After you must have connected it together, when people start to contact you now, you begin to see datas coming in, okay? So in the next upcoming videos, I'll be showing you how to connect your form, that form in your contact us page, so that whatever somebody enters there, the MySQL code I'm going to show you will take the input of what that person enters there and insert it into this table we have just created, okay? So the second method I said I'm going to show you in this video is how to create a table in your database through the easy way. So now if you look here, you will see the table we have just created through the hard way. So now we are going to go ahead and do it through the easy way, okay? So now the second method, which is the easier way on how to create a table here on your PHPMYADMIN. So now you have logged into your PHPMYADMIN. So now you see the database we created before. It is called Sabiman underscore contact underscore database. So you know the name of the database you have created, okay? So now you can see the first one we created through the hard way, through writing the MySQL code. So the first table, we gave it a name as contact page. So now we are going to create the second table, which is through the easy way, okay? So now if you come down here under the table name, you give this table a name. So let's say this table is going to be contact us page, okay? So now here you specify how many columns this table is going to contain. In my case, for the sake of this tutorial, so I want to specify 4 columns, okay? So that 4, one will be ID, and the second column will contain the name, while the third one will contain the subject, and the last one will be the content of the contact page, okay? So after that, you click on create. So now on this next page now, I will specify the first column. So the first column I will say is ID. Then I will leave it as int. Then I'll scroll now and come here at the auto increments. I make sure I check this button. And if you watch out, when I check this button, the index becomes primary, which means this is going to be the primary key. The ID is going to be the primary key. So now this button I checked is auto increment, which means that anytime a data is inserted into this table, that the ID will be incremented. Okay, so if, for example, 2 datas were there before, which is ID1 and ID2, then if another one comes in, it will increment to ID3. So no data will have 2 IDs. They will always have different IDs, okay? That is what this means, okay? So now, we go down again and come down to here. We say this one is name. So on this name, the data type is not going to be 8, it's going to be varchar. Okay? Then you come to the length of the values here on the name section. So you give it length of 70. So you come down under it, this one is going to be the subject. So on the data type, you select varchar also. Then maybe the subject is going to be something like 150. Okay? Then you come down to the content. Okay? So you also select the data type as a varchar. Then the length is going to be, let's say, 2000. Okay? So after everything is done, you come down here and click on save. So if you notice now, we have created a table, as you can see, with the 4 columns. So if you watch by the side here, you can see it under here, contact us page. That is the table we created, okay? So now if you look at the center here, you can see that the first one is with auto increment, which means it will always be incremented, okay? So now you can see this is the same method we use in creating it by writing the MySQL code. So the other one was the hard way, and this one is the easiest way to create it, okay? So now if you click on browse, you're not going to see anything because it will return empty. That means we have not had any data inserted into this table. So on the next upcoming videos, I will show you how to get the data from your contact us page and insert it into this table, okay? So with that being said, that brings us to the end of this video today, okay? So if you like this video, please comment down, like and share this video so that YouTube and Facebook can recommend this video to other people who are also interested in learning how to create a table in their database through PHPMYADMIN, okay? So, and if this is your first time of coming across my page or coming across my video, so please do us a favor and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit on the bell icon so that anytime we upload video tips like this, you'll be among the first to be notified, okay? So until then, thank you for watching and see you guys in the next videos.